Welcome to this short video on the new ASI SmartBooks Update version 3.7.4. This video will cover some of the enhancements. For a complete listing of all changes, please review the Update Bulletin. ASI Computer Systems is committed to constant innovation and improvement that is provided to you through the ASI SmartBooks updates. We have recently made several enhancements to make ASI SmartBooks even more indispensable. Here are some of the highlights. The first enhancement to review will be the ASI Supplier Order Status Service. ASI distributors who have a valid ESP web license and a username/password with a supplier will have the option of getting their order status electronically. Once you have your credentials from your supplier, underneath Tools and Service Provider, we already have this open. Here we can set up our SmartLink login. You would need your client ID and secret password from ASI. Also under the Service Provider, we have the order status. I labeled it order status. The type is set up as ASI Supplier Order Status, and you can pick it from your drop-down. Those suppliers that you have in your data will automatically appear. To add your credentials for that supplier, we'd pick our vendor, go to Login, add our details, and authenticate. Once you have it set up, you'll see underneath this column where it shows Reset Login. The next part of this new feature is under Activities. Under Order and Activities, which I already have open, installing this version will automatically create this Check Vendor Order Status. It's listed as a combo box, and when I select it here, there you can see our activity options. The next part of this feature happens on the order. If I open up an order I already have entered, once you enter your order, process in the normal manner. When you go to check the status of the order, you go back to the order. Under Views on the right-hand side, we're going to select Tracking. Underneath Vendors, you'll notice our supplier we have for that order. Below that, you see a hyperlink where it says Check Vendor Order Status. Any vendor that you have on the order will have the ability that you can come in and you can check this and select it manually. Only vendors that have a valid login will have the hyperlink available that you can click on Check Vendor Order Status. I'm going to refer back to this again. Here it shows our supplier, and they are set up as an active vendor who has the ability to provide order status. So if we go back to our order, again, we're under Tracking. Under our vendors, I can click on the hyperlink to check vendor order status. When I click on that, it goes out, finds our status, tells me it's completed. When I select OK, and that status is automatically filled in. So it saves you the time of having to call the vendor yourself. Then we go ahead and save at the top. We can close our order, proceed as normal. And this will complete this review to check the ASI supplier order status. The next new enhancement will be the batch send for customer statements. This will also include an additional enhancement located on the customer resource for statement send method. The batch send for customer statement option is located under the customer tab of the ribbon menu, going to the order control group and selecting send. We'll go down to function and select send statements. Customers to receive statements can be selected based on certain criteria. This includes past due age, minimum balance to include. If I selected customer, and also by selected salesperson. If multiple options are used, the customer must meet all criteria. Once we've made our selections, then we go to Search on the right-hand side. We can in turn select individual customers. If we want statements to go to all customers we see listed, we can go to the top of the box, click on the box in the blue header. This will select, or if I uncheck it, deselect all the customers below. You may choose to override the send method to print only by checking this box. The send method is listed right here in the column for send method. This defaults from the customer resource. This is another new enhancement in regards to the statements. Going over to the customer resource, we select one of our customers. Under the other expander, we can go to the statement via. If we open up the expander, we have the ability to choose to email the statement, print the statement, or both, or none. If we leave the statement via at select, this will cause it to default to the select statement via that we have in our company setup. Go back to our send. We'll select a few of these. I have my selections made, and then we'll go to process. Once we've printed each one of our statements, the send status list view report comes up showing us our customer, our send method, send status, and if there was a failure. You can print this if you like, or go ahead and close it. We'll go ahead and close our send status list view report. Once we printed or emailed, we can go ahead and close. This will complete this review for the new enhancement for batch send of customer statements and the new enhancement for statement send method from within the customer resource. The next enhancement will be the ability to set filters before loading. When you open up any list view inside of ASI SmartBooks, that includes from your customer, quote, order, invoice, or one of your other list view options. Typically when you open it up, you had to wait for it to load. The default list that loads when a menu option is selected can now be changed to a different list or different date range without having to wait for the default list to open first. When you open up a new list view or a report list, you'll see this message that says the default list in the upper right-hand corner is ready to load. Please review and select any additional criteria from the upper left-hand corner and click Search. Or select a different list by using the List drop-down arrow in the upper right-hand corner. So it's referring to your different list or selecting your different month period. Once we've made any changes or no changes at all, you can simply just click on Search. And then we have our normal list view appearing. Under System Preferences, there's a checkbox where it says Load Default List. If we check this box and save our system preferences, if we go back to our report we'd opened up, was invoice products in this case, now it automatically loads my default list because we checked that box under system preferences. We'll close this option, and this will complete this review for the new feature to set filters before loading any list view within ASI SmartBooks. The next new enhancement to review will be an improved way to balance inventory and dropship related accounts. Additional control accounts are now available underneath the Account Reconcile window. Going to Accounting under the General Ledger Control Group and selecting Reconcile. These include the dropship merchandise, inventory, and inventory owned by customers. Inventory accounts will only be available if you have the inventory add-on. This option allows a user to see their control accounts at a quick glance, and they can tell if they're out of balance. And this will complete this review for the new enhancement for an improved way to balance inventory and dropship related accounts. The next new enhancement to review will be the fiscal year password. Under our Tools tab of the ribbon menu, under System Preferences, a new password feature has been added. This will allow a second password for posting back to prior or future fiscal years. You enter your password, and this would have to be entered before anyone can post any type of entries to a future or prior fiscal year. We'll close this, and this will complete this review for fiscal year password. The next new enhancement to review will be the validation for the vendor reference number from within the Bill New option. When a duplicate invoice number for a vendor is entered in the Bill New option, a validation message will appear prior to completing the rest of the screen. So if we go into Bills New, we'll select our vendor. We'll go down to the reference field. We will type in our invoice number. And then as soon as I move off of that field, the validation message appears that says, a bill with this reference already exists for this vendor. Are you sure you want to continue processing? So you could either say yes or no. If you are not sure, you may want to close out, research it before proceeding. So we're going to do so. Go ahead and close. We'll say no. We'll close our Bills New. And this will complete this review for this new enhancement to validate the vendor reference number when entering a Bill New. The next new enhancement to review will be the ability to sort the customer pay column under Bill Pay for the salesperson. So if we open up our Bill Pay option, we'll select our salesperson. In the Bill Pay option, the customer pay column can now be sorted. So it is possible to group all the full and or partial values together for easier selection. We click on our column heading, and we now have them sorted and listed together. And then we would complete this process as normal. We're going to go ahead and close. And this will complete the review for this new enhancement to sort the customer pay column within the Bill Pay option for a salesperson. The next new enhancement will be the system preference option to switch order tracking from horizontal to vertical or from vertical to horizontal. We're going to review this by starting out with an order. On the order, we went under the views and tracking, and here we can see we currently have activity set up to be horizontal. Under Tools and System Preferences, in the middle of the screen, you see a tracking view option. We currently have it set up to display horizontal. If we change this to vertical, we'll save our system preferences. Now we'll go back to our order and then go back into our tracking underneath views. Now you can see it has swapped it from horizontal to show it vertically. We'll go ahead and close. And this will complete the review for system preference option to switch order tracking from either horizontal to vertical or vertical to horizontal. This will also complete this ASI SmartBooks video for the 3.7.4 enhancements.